Thank you, Mr Speaker. I move the amendment circulated in my name to Senate Amendment 3.
The Leader of the Nationals has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Coalition requests to make a simple amendment to the amendments that have moved back as a result of the bill that was passed through the Senate last night, or yesterday I should say, one around carbon sequestration. There was an amendment to the EPBC.
The Leader of the Nationals will pause. The Minister for Infrastructure and the member for Wannon will not be interjecting. No one will be interjecting during this process. Trust me. The Leader of the Nationals has the call and will be heard in silence.
Mr Speaker, thank you. And when there was amendments made to the Nature Repair Market Bill in the Senate that addressed the EPBC and around gas extraction, the Nationals and the Liberals believe that this is an opportune time to also pursue an opportunity to look at carbon capture storage and sequestration of that, particularly onshore. At the moment, there is a development in my own electorate where a carbon capture storage project will collect carbon from a coal-fired power station, but it will inject it into the precipice. That goes through the Great Artesian Basin, the biggest potable water source for this country, that services stock and domestic right across the Great Artesian Basin. And we obviously do support carbon capture storage, but it has to be in the appropriate place. And the technology is emerging, and we support that technology. But it has to be done at an appropriate pace where we have confidence in the approval process. At the moment, the Queensland Government will be the ones that will have that determination. And what we feel is that this is a national environmental asset that should also trigger, under the EPBC, the water trigger, to ensure that proper approval processes are taking place and oversights of all levels of government, to give confidence to those primary producers, but to our communities who rely on the Great Artesian Basin for their water supply. This is a common-sense solution to what is an emerging problem in understanding the science, understanding the technology that we do believe we should invest in. We don't walk away from the fact that carbon capture storage will play a very important part in reducing our emissions, and we should continue to make those investments, as the Biden administration has, with over $1.2 billion worth of investment in reducing their emissions. But with that comes a responsibility on us as legislators to protect our environment and to protect our wildlife and protect Australian agriculture, to appreciate the size of the Great Artesian Basin and the sheer magnitude of area in which it covers, and the reliance of agriculture and our communities means that it is beholden on us, not just for now but for the future, to protect these communities and to protect the environment for future generations. And as this technology and science evolves, then the opportunity for these companies to make these investments will continue to provide themselves there. But until that's proven, on technology that is new to the world, particularly in this form, in this model that is being proposed in southwest Queensland, then we pose too many risks. We should, as legislators, pose the precautionary principle to make sure that we make a sensible decision here in this parliament to protect our environment, protect these communities, and making sure that we work with the science and the technology in a methodical pace that gives everyone confidence. And this is the opportunity that this parliament today can give that confidence and give greater investment confidence to carbon capture storage into the future, but do that in harmony with Australian agriculture, with our environment and particularly our communities. So we believe that this is a sensible amendment that posed itself as an opportunity when there was an amendment in the Senate to the EPBC Act, and we believe that if we act responsibly and understanding the impact on the Great Artesian Basin and making sure that this legislation would give that protection of another lens of oversight, then that would give the confidence to our regional communities, not just in my electorate, but much across the Great Artesian Basin that could be impacted by this. We think this is a sensible amendment that gives everyone confidence to move forward, that gives approval process certainty and gives the community certainty. I ask the House to accept this amendment as a common sense approach to protect our environment and protect the nature.